So is this the end of copy and pasting from documents and photos and manually entering information and data in some business software? Maybe it's not the end, but I seriously start to ask myself why anyone would still today enter the same type of data repeatedly in some interface when AI and automation can really do the job. I guess we all remember when OCR technology was more and more introduced in software, and then we didn't have to manually type up or copy texts from documents anymore. It was kind of working, but it wasn't always perfectly working because maybe sometimes the format wasn't right, maybe the image quality wasn't good enough. And so OCR got more and more replaced by AI and computer vision, which today works so much better. And so that now with the rise of no-code tools that can replace stupid spreadsheets or even offline processes, I think it's really the time now to start looking into it and think how in your work you can actually use AI and these tools out there to stop wasting time on documents. So if you want to extract texts from an invoice, the AI knows pretty much what an invoice looks like and what information an invoice contains. So it's almost as if you would employ a human being to do nothing but looking at invoices and typing up the text you can find there, typing up the total amount, typing up the company name. But instead, it just works in milliseconds and it can be super automated. And so I was playing around with Glide's AI features and I've built a simple app to do exactly that, to take invoices and extract data from it, and exactly the data that I need. Okay, so now let me show you how you can save a lot of time and manual effort and copy and pasting and opening documents and finding information by using AI in a very practical way. And so if you are already familiar with spreadsheet software such as Excel or Google Sheets, you will understand the following demo and understand how it works. And for my example, I have built a no-code app using Glide where I use their integrated AI features to read invoices and extract the exact data I want from these invoices. And so let's have a look how this works. Here we are in my invoice scanner app, which uses AI to extract the data from all the different invoices that I'm going to upload. I already have two examples here, Midjourney. So you see, for my example here, I want to extract the company name, the invoice number, and the total amount. And I want this to be fully automated. I don't want to do anything here. Here's another example where I have the data. And to show you the power of computer vision and using AI to extract information from documents, I have three example invoices with a different format. You can see all these three invoices, they look different. And I want to use that to show you the advantages of AI, that it doesn't really matter what is the format of the invoice because the AI understands what an invoice is and finds exactly the data that you need. I've built this little form here where I can upload my invoice. So I'm just going to go to my first invoice, which is from MotionFX. It takes a few seconds to upload. Now I'm going to submit this invoice, and let's do this for the other two as well. All right, submitting these three invoices now. And you can see that in my interface, the names of the companies already appear. So we have VFX, Teller HQ, and MediaMarkt. And so if I look in the details, then I should see the data. Yeah, exactly. So I have the company name, I have the invoice number, and I have the total amount. And that goes as well as for the other invoices where I have the company name again, the invoice number, and the total amount. And if we want to double check that, then we can copy this, put it to our clipboard, and go to the invoice of, that's Teller, and let's search for it. And here we have an exact match with the invoice number. So we have it here. In that case, the invoice number is down there. We can take another example to see if it worked. Let's take the one from MediaMarkt here. So that's the invoice number. I copy it. We go to MediaMarkt, and there we go. And as you can see here, this invoice is even in another language. It's in Spanish, but since the AI doesn't really care because it speaks all the different languages, it finds the invoice number anyway. Okay, so now let's look under the hood how this app works. And it's fairly simple. As I said, if you're familiar with spreadsheets and their structure, then think of it as I have a separate worksheet here, which is called Invoice. And here I have a few columns that have a specific job. And these columns, they provide some different functionalities. And so just to get through them real quick, you can see my first column is called invoice document, which is a URL field. So this is where I store my invoices. So I upload it to the server there, and then we have the document available, because now you can see we're opening the invoice from here, and that is all we need. And then our next columns, they do the real job. So you can see this is an AI column that is already provided by Glide, which is called document to text. And all it does is it takes a document and it reads everything it can find on that document and puts it out in text format. So you can see I have this column which is filled with a lot of text here. And that is already enough to say, okay, great AI, now you've found the invoice, you've extracted all the texts, and now I'm going to give you a few mini jobs to find exactly the data that I need. And so you can see the 3 values I wanted to extract from the invoice is now the company name, the invoice number, and the total amount. And those are very simple columns as well. So they're called generate text. You give it a little instruction. You could also call it a prompt that we know from ChatGPT. And in that prompt, I'm just saying that you're given a task where you have an extraction of an invoice document, and now you need to find the company name and return it as a company name. So like return it as a text string. And I give an example here, Apple Inc., to really make sure that the AI understands what to do. And the same goes for the invoice number, and the same goes for the total amount. And again, you can see we have these different columns here. This is all done by the AI integration. So nobody has ever copied or pasted anything. The values are already inserted here. I hope that now it gives you a bit of inspiration how this can really help you in more complex workflows. So again, if we're thinking of invoices, you could connect it with your accounting software and say, I just want to have an uploader where I put all my invoices and then the data can be sent automatically to a spreadsheet, to my accounting software. Maybe I want to have some control mechanism in between and I can make some edits. We could also work with much more complex documents. I can show you an example here where we have a technical instruction, a manual, where the job might be, hey, can you read these documents and find if there's any input voltage? And if so, please return it and put it here in that column. So yeah, there are lots of possibilities, and it's just about finding the right use case where the AI automation can really help. And it's always helpful to first think, where do we need to process a lot of documents? Where do we have a lot of typing up work? Where do we have a lot of copy and pasting? Where we could just upload it to our app here and have the AI find the data and format it in the right way. All right, and that's about it. That's my little demonstration of an AI-powered app that can process documents and find exactly what you want from these documents so that then you can automate your process even more. If you find this video helpful, if you are curious about more AI automations, then I would be happy if you subscribe to this channel. If you also have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you are interested now to get started with Glide or AI automations in general, please send me a message. I'm happy to help. And in any case, happy to hear your feedback. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.